Okay. Hey guys. Let me just move some things around here. Get set up. Boom, 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 boom. Cool. I'm turning this guy off. Buzzing away. Quiet, you. There we go. We're listening to chip tunes today. I did something pretty funny. I'll show you guys later. I was playing with the Raspberry Pi, getting Easy Builder on it, and, and I got carried away with some of the packages I found for it. And I started listening to MIDI music. You know, MIDI music from like the 90s when Windows 95 and Windows 3. It's pretty hilarious. I've been listening to some pretty bizarre stuff today. Here, let's take a quick look and see what I said we were going to be doing today. Dun, 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 dun. Cynthium. Man, that homepage is pretty cool. That's awesome, eh? Look at that. It's great. I love this part here where like all the robots fly by. And I didn't even notice this until the other day, but they made it so that these are animated. Check that out. That's our web developer, Amin. I call him the Ninja. My nickname for him is Ninja. He wants all these to be animated at some point. That's going to be crazy cool. Looking forward to that. Whoa, guys, keep making apps. That's awesome. And robots. So cool. What are robot ideas? We should change that to robots. We don't really care about robot ideas as much, do we? It's very cool. I think there needs to be something in here, though, like maybe the video. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Something needs to be in here. By the time you get to the bottom, it's like super anticlimactic. It's like, oh, I got to the end and it's a dark, empty hole. There's nothing here. Maybe that's what entices you to push the getting started button. Community. Cynthia, here we go. Oh, right. Yeah. I'm going to do the Raspberry Pi today. That's right. That's why I would be sitting here on my desk. That is why Raspberry Pi be here. Waiting with a bunch of iPhones, apparently. Let's move these away. Get out of here, iPhones. Cool. This is my video capture. I got set up super professional today. This is going to be super pro. We're going to capture the Raspberry Pi so you can actually see what's going on. I'm using the kit I got from, it's like Can Pi? These guys? Can Kit? I don't know. They just seem to have like everything on the website. I got it on Amazon, which was convenient with Prime shipping, so it took like a day to get here. But it came with everything I needed. A power wall wart, whatever you want to call it, that plugs in the wall. And it came with this like switch, so I can turn it on and off, which I don't think you're supposed to just do without powering down, but I'm a gangsta. And it also came with an SD card, fully loaded with Raspbian, which is like Debian or something, whatever kind of operating system. So that's pretty cool. And then this nice case. Oh, and a USB cable too. Or sorry, HDMI cable. Now, this isn't the HDMI cable it came with. It came with a really long one, but it was just too long to be on my desk here. So I found the short one in the back in the warehouse, and it fits fine. And then you take out the case here. It's kind of neat. You have to like, it took me a bit to figure out. I should have just read the instructions, but the circuit board goes in the bottom and not through the top. And then you have like all your heat sinks that they give you to put on, and then you have this connector so you can plug other stuff in, and you have this connector for the Pi cam if you want, and then you get this little lid, and it's got holes cut in it, so you're good to go. So we're gonna put. I already have Raspbian installed on it. So I would assume if you guys are using a Raspberry Pi, it's the first thing you would do. It says instructions anyway. So I'm going to try to... Oh, look at that. It worked. We turned it on and it powered up. Nice. Let's watch it from the beginning. Here, let's do a restart. This is great. Reboot. This is like full HDMI capture right to streaming to your eyeballs. So here's the Raspberry Pi booting up. And of course it runs Linux, which I think we should probably talk about this because I was on a web page the other day and we're talking to this guy from ARM and he says, hey, have you seen that they got Windows 10 running on Raspberry Pi? And it's true. They do. It's crazy. Now, there's some drivers that are incomplete, but it's quite promising, which is nice because, I mean, Linux is free, but it's free, right? Because it's kind of, I don't know. I mean, when you're used to something like Windows where people get paid a salary to do stuff, Linux is kind of kudos for them, but it doesn't stand up to paid software, that's for sure. So this is Chromium, which is built on the Chrome engine, which is open source. That's what Microsoft Edge is even moving to. And I have two keyboards here, so I have to remember which keyboard to use. Look at this. I think it's called WinPi or Pi64.win. Check this out. So this is not what we're going to be doing today, but I think we should schedule one day and do this. Run Pi64 on a Raspberry Pi. Try it out. So this will actually fully install Windows 10 on your Pi, which is awesome. That means like you can have like a full Windows 10 PC for the price of a Pi, which is like $38 if you don't buy all of the accessories that actually makes it useful, like a cable and power adapter and SD card. You could probably... I find that I read about this, and also you notice when you run the operating system, the SD card's slow, right? Like really slow. The writable read-write speed on a micro SD, especially these cheap ones, it's like in the megabytes. It's not very high, like 20, 30 megabytes per second, if that. Maybe megabits, maybe 30 megabits per second, so like a couple megabytes per second. If you put an SD card, or sorry, a USB key, that'll probably be quicker. USB 3, well, it doesn't have 3, it's got 2. So USB 2 is 480 megabits per second, so it'll be quick. Or you can probably plug in just like a external hard drive, an SSD or something, USB 2. It'll be quick to boot up, but they have an installer. So I'm getting sidetracked right now because I'm super stoked. Like I wasn't always a Windows fan, but I gave up. Like I used to love Linux, and I used to make fun of everyone who had Windows. They're like, oh, you have Windows. That's not what a real man's operating system is. And then I'd be typing away in command shell, and people would be looking at me blinking, and then like 30 minutes later I'd have Load Runner running or something, and people would be like, yeah, well, hey Heat Trucks, nice to see you. So yeah, so we'll try this. I think we'll talk about it at the forum, and we'll see if maybe next week or the week after we'll try put in Pi on here. Just take a look though. The current status does say that there's a couple things aren't working with Windows 10 on the Raspberry Pi. Let's see. Lots of stuff says it works. And what's not working, unfortunately, is the wireless. So that's not that big of a deal if you're connected Ethernet. But if you're going to be, controlling a robot through wireless, it's not going to help you too much. I should show you this though, because I actually have this Pi, even though it's running Linux and it has full wireless. I have it hooked into Ethernet on my desk because I have an Ethernet hub sitting right here. So why not? Okay, where are we here? HDMI. Boom, there we go. Cool, this is really neat. Really neat that you can be able to run full Windows 10. So let's not worry about that right now because that's what we're going to talk about. Today, we are going to talk about putting EasyBuilder on a Raspberry Pi with Linux. Everybody had asked for it for a long time, and I kept putting it off because, you know why? Because it's Linux, right? Because it's not going to be fully compatible with all the features that you want. But that's okay because we want to play with this, and playing with technology is fun. So let's go check out Symbian.com, and let's get started. So this is a Raspberry Pi B+, and like I said, it's running Debian. This is what came on the SD card. So under the software tab or the getting started tab, either one of these, you can get access to the software, right? And here we are, EasyBuilder for Pi. It's pretty cool. So let's first download it, and then let's click on the manual here so we can get the instructions on what we're going to be doing to set this thing up. This is me running the Pi with EasyBuilder in Linux on my screen, on my wall screen in my office. So that was a pretty fun day. It's kind of funny. You see these two computers down here? Yeah, these are actually computers. These are called PDPs, parallel data processors, programmable data processors. From this one's in PDP 8, and this is a PDP 11. I talked about this in my first hack video where I did a tour of my office. But what's really neat about these is they run in the background to connect to the interface. They hook up to a Pi. So this one's got a Pi inside of it as well. So I actually unplugged the HDMI from this little screen I made, and I plugged it into the screen above. So this copy of EasyBuilder that I was doing the development on was actually on this PDP, which is really fun because the lights were flashing with all the memory and everything because the emulator was running in the background. So it was pretty nostalgic to be coding on something so retro like that. Okay, so installation. The first thing we have to do, since we've downloaded the file, is we have to install something called MonoDevelop. And MonoDevelop is Mono, which is essentially .NET, but open sourced version that is available for Linux as well as like Xamarin. Xamarin essentially runs on it, but it's also available for Android and iOS, a bunch of different devices. You can even run it like on an Xbox. It's crazy. There's a ton of different platforms that Mono will run on. So we want to drop to a command shell, and we did download the file already, right? So let's go into our downloads folder, and there it is. And what we're going to want to do is untar it. So let's tar xvfz EasyBuilder, and then that's going to create a folder called EasyBuilder Pi. So now we probably don't want EasyBuilder Pi to run specifically in the downloads folder. So let's just move it. And you could do this with the file manager, just like with Windows. Here, why don't I show you that? If you click on here and then go to, maybe it's accessories. Yeah, there we go. File manager. This is just like the Windows file manager in a sense, where you can see all your files. And if we go into our downloads, there's our EasyBuilder Pi folder. So we'll just cut it, and then we'll go back one folder and we'll throw it inside of our home folder here. So home folder is essentially, it's like your My Documents for, or your users directory in Windows. Okay, so here's our Pi folder right here. Now, I do not believe we're going to be able to do anything like double click to run it, even when we have Mono installed, but let's find out. So we have to install Mono. So let's do that. So we have to type in, according to the instructions here, sudo apt install monodevel. So go back to our command, let's type in, you can type it in anywhere. Apt get install monodevel, enter. And then it's going to go to the internet and say, hey, what package does this guy need? And ask you, do you sure you want to install 83 megabytes of stuff? Yeah, thanks. I would like to install 83 megabytes of stuff, please. And it goes and does it for you. I gotta say, like, it's confusing to somebody who comes from Windows to use Linux, but I have to say that they've done a pretty good job of prompting you, making it easy to do complicated things, even though they present to you this huge complicated mess on the screen. So you just get like all of these log entries of things that are happening. So just kind of close your eyes. Maybe go do something else. Go watch dancing GIF hamsters or something. Yeah, this is better. You do something like this when it's showing you a bunch of log files. Oh, it's still going. We'll keep watching a dancing hamster. Dance, I say, hamster, dance! Dancing hamster. Our song ended before it finished installing. Hope there's another good retro 8-bit song that's going to play for this dancing hamster. Yes, the end is nigh. Okay, we can shut our hamsters down now. See you, Hammy. Oh, I got way too excited. It's still installing stuff. I just saw the word done and figured it was done, but done means something different to Linux people. Yeah, Marco, I agree with you. I totally prefer Windows, but it's still fun. It's neat to play with. You can install plugins on the Pi as well. So I'm going to show you how to do that. There's a couple plugins that I like to make specifically for the Pi. For example, there's a Pi camera you can get, and I started looking into that, so it looks like we can add a camera, the ability to do a camera control for it. There's also a lot of I/O on the Pi, so you'll be able to control the I/O as well. Okay, our hamster's done dancing and the song is over, and it looks like our mono is good. So, now that it's installed, we just have to run it. That's it. So we've already put it into our folder called Easy Builder Pi. This is something, I don't know if you know, if you remember back in the old DOS days with DOS X, but you see how I typed in some commands? I can just hit tab and it'll finish it for me. So that's pretty nice. And when we're in the folder, we can run it by just typing mono easybuilder.exe. And I'm not sure if we can do this. Let's try out, but we might be able to click in the file manager and actually run it from here too. So where is Easy Builder in this list? There it is. Let's try if that'll happen. Because maybe Mono like registers itself some magically way. Oh, look at this. It does. Cool. Look at Linux being like Windows. Wow. Okay, so we just loaded Easy Builder. So this is a special compile of Easy Builders for the Pi specifically. So you can't just take the regular Easy Builder from Windows and run it on the Pi. There's a bunch of stuff that had to be stripped out to make it work because of the system calls we were doing. So this version, which I think it's from yesterday. Yeah, look at the date on here, 14th. This is the Valentine's Day release. It has some performance improvements over the last initial release of it. So make sure you're running the most current version. I've already logged in as myself, so I can do things like go to the App Store and check it out. It's actually pretty quick. Look at that. And I can download like the JD app. It's pretty speedy. I'm not sure. Look, this is a B+, Raspberry B+, so I don't know how fast it's going to be on a B, but I don't think it's that bad on since it's Raspberry Pi. So I can go to my Easy Cloud and sync my servo profiles if I want. So here I have one called JD. It's loaded up. Nice. And I can switch desktops. You notice the desktop doesn't actually show you an image of what the screen capture looks like. I haven't looked too much into it yet, but it doesn't happen. It's kind of weird. The remote control tab seems to work totally fine. So this is whatever your default mobile interface is. And there's no Blockly because it was dependent on a web browser and some other things that we haven't looked into. But there is RoboScratch for those who like to click on things and make things and drag things around and watch lines appear. And you can generate source code from it. So it's pretty good. Let's hit file new on this. And we can also go into projects and we can add. So you notice there's no designer. So there's no 3D designer in this version as well. So it's pretty trimmed down compared to the Windows version. Then we'll click add on project to add a new control. And look, the control window loads up. And we have lots of controls to go through here. We even have a camera control so we can connect to our camera. Click. And of course we don't have any plugins. So let's demonstrate that. Let's show how to install a plugin. So something I haven't played with too much is there's a couple buttons in here where it'll normally in Windows launch a web browser, but Linux just gave me this error about some sort of program that's not installed. I'm sure that program is some sort of helper that helps it determine what kind of MIME type an application is supposed to execute on. I haven't looked into that yet, so maybe one day when I do, I'll add to the Raspberry Pi tutorial for you guys to set it up. Or if any of you do, just let me know. So to do a plugin, we got lots of windows open here. Let's close this down. And Raspberry Pi. Okay, so here we are on the manual page, and we have tons of stuff in here. So what plugin do we want to work with? Let's use, let's see if, you know what? We can use the Bioloid, since we've been playing with Dynamixel Pixel so much lately. So I can go on to Servo and Dynamixel. And here's the plugin for Dynamixel. We'll click download, and it's going to download the file. Now, clicking on the file is not going to know what to do with it. It's just going to say, it's just going to open it up in this folder for you. So what we want to do is go to a command prompt, your terminal prompt, And if you look in your downloads folder, there is the file that we just downloaded right here. So to install this, we need to run the Easy Builder plugin program. So this might look confusing to you, but what we're going to do is we're going to go back a folder like this. Then we're going to say /easy builder, and then we're going to put pi on it. And then we're going to run, if you hit double tab, it'll show you all the name of the files. I think it's called Plugin Manager. You might have to look actually in the folder here, see what it's called. There we go, Easy Builder Plugin Manager.exe. So Easy Builder. Oh, there's this weird S here. It's not supposed to be there. What's going on? What is that S doing? Download. Oh, that's my $sign for my folder I'm currently in. That was catching me off guard for a sec. Okay, /easy builder pi, /easy. Why are you not tabbing and telling me what the file is? Here, let's copy it from here. It's probably because it's not declared as an executable file. Paste. And this isn't going to work if I hit enter. Watch what's going to happen. It's going to be an error message because it can't find that file because it has all these spaces in it. So there's a couple ways you can do it. You can put it in quotes, or we can put a slash where it is, and then we specify the download file, which is the plugin file. I just hit 5E and then I hit tab. Hit enter. Oops. I'm going to hit up arrow and go back to our command. We forgot to actually say mono on that. So we're going to tell Mono to run the plugin program and the plugin itself. And there we go. It's just like you remember with Windows. Here's how it installed the plugin. So now when we go back to Easy Builder, we click Add. And in plugins, there should be a plugin in here. Why is there no plugin in here? I wonder if, I can't see it happening, but, oh, I bet you I know what I did. If we look in downloads, oh, look at that. Yeah, where we everything I just did, you have to ignore. Huh. See this folder, Easy Builder? Because we ran the Easy Builder Plugin Manager program in the downloads folder, it created a folder called Easy Builder that stores the plugin information. So Mono is not that smart. It doesn't use your, oops, it doesn't use your folder, your installation folder. So, oops, RM Easy. So I'm just gonna delete that Easy Builder folder. And instead, let's go back into the Easy Builder folder and we'll do it this way. So we're gonna mono Easy Builder plugin manager, and then we're going to go back a folder into downloads, and we're going to double tap and hit 5E. Hey, Will, we're just installing a plugin into Easy Builder and in Mono inside of Linux on the Raspberry Pi. There we go. So this time, because we were inside of the folder, same folder as Easy Builder, here we have our installation. And now, if we run Easy Builder .exe, booyah. I'm surprised how quick it is, considering it's on a little $30 computer. Okay, so if I go to Project, Add, we should see our Dynamixel plugin, hopefully. Let's take a look. Plugins. There it is. Nice. And if we go under Servo, we should see it there too. And there, we added a plugin. That is super, super cool. So if I grabbed We should try this. Let's actually try controlling the Bioloid with the with the Dynamaxel through a Raspberry Pi. So I need a Easy B though, because my my Bioloid doesn't have an Easy B on the back of it. So let me go grab one. I'll be right back. Okay, I also grabbed a camera because the Bioloid doesn't actually have a camera on it, and I've been meaning to give it one. So maybe we'll do that too. So first things first. I don't know if you guys remember last week, but I dropped the Bioloid and one of his magnets fell off there that holds the Easy B in place. I should maybe plug the hot glue gun in. You know what, I'm going to do that so I can get the magnet back so Jeremy doesn't give me shit about losing another Easy B. Can you change the UART speed in the Pi as the same as Windows? Yep, you can. I should do a plugin for the LX16. I think, don't we have a plugin for the LX16? Isn't the LX16 is the Luan servo, the ones that we were demoed in the hack session number 3, I think it was. Yeah, I thought so, Marco. Heatrox, if you want to use that, here. I got so many mice and keyboards on my desk. I feel like this is hooked up to the Pi. This is hooked up to the Pi. This is that. These are all these screens. It's too much. Here, let me show you in here. If you want to use that Luan servo, it's right here. Luan servo. You can install it here, the LX16. Boom. It works fine. It'll work with Raspberry Pi. Yeah, so Marco, if you want to change the wrong computer. The baud rate on connection, it's the same as the Windows version. It's under settings, and you have your drop down here. So you can still connect it to a Arduino. You can plug an Arduino into the Pi, and if you click on here, you're going to see all the different ports. These are serial ports. So the onboard serial ports. You'll have to read about the Pi to find out which one is the onboard port, but okay, so let's get back to our Bioloid. I plugged in the hot glue gun, so we'll hot glue the magnet on later, but for the time being, we're just going to hook this Easy B up to it. And the pins are all bent. Sorry, Jeremy. He's got to fix all my mistakes. Okay. Oh, I don't have a battery for this. We have to run it off this. It's my adjustable power supply. So I think it likes 11 volts. 11.1, 11.2, sure, that sounds fine. So since I don't have a battery for my Bioloid, I'm going to give it juice right from this thing. There we go. 11.1. I got 11.2. I like breaking the rules. Just enough, just by 0.1. I'm 0.1 a rebel. That's my measurement. Okay, so we are in here. Now the thing is, I don't have a Bioloid project on this computer, right, on this Raspberry Pi. So let's jump over to my desktop on my Windows computer and load Easy Builder on here. And then here's our Bioloid project here. Oh, it still has the Microsoft Connect plugin connected to it. We don't need that anymore. I'll delete it for the time being. So all we need are these two controls, this one and the Dynamaxle. And then we'll save it to the App Store on the cloud. EasyBV4, desktop. We'll just call it Bioloid and I'll put in a description here. Testing Bioloid with Raspberry Pi. We don't need a servo profile and it doesn't need to be public. You guys don't need to see this. And click save. It's like one of my tags. All right. Incomplete. Save. Save. Done. Okay, so now let's bounce back over to the Pi. Cool. And if we click open on the Pi, and then click on My Files, there's our Bioloid project we just saved on the cloud, so we'll download it onto the Pi. And there it is, and that's with the Dynamaxle control. I would like to do a test before we connect this to the Bioloid. I would like to close down Easy Builder, and then I would like to. This is going to be something kind of interesting. I want to delete this Easy Builder folder here. This has all our plugins in it. I'm going to go into the plugins folder and I'm going to delete this plugin. This is the Dynamaxle plugin that was installed. There. Okay, so now when we run Easy Builder, it's not going to know of the plugin. So when I load the project, do you think this Linux version of Easy Builder is going to be able to go to the internet and download the plugin and install it for me? I don't think so, but that's what I want to try. So I'm going to click open on the App Store, go to My Files. Because if we were in Windows, Easy Builder would go to the internet and say, oh, you don't have this plugin, and it would go download it for you and install it. I'm not sure. I don't think it's going to do that in Linux. Let's find out. So I'm going to click on the project here, or the app. Okay, here's my message. This project requires a third-party user plugin that is not installed on your system. Would you like to install it? Heck yes. The project requires a third-party plugin not installed. Do you want to install it? Yes, I said. Uh-oh. I'm in an infinite loop of so it doesn't, this feature doesn't work. So it's best that I demoed this to you. Remember, we're still in beta for this version, so that's good. Okay, so we know canceled. Yes, we are canceled. All right, so let's manually install the plugin one more time. So it should be inside of downloads. There it is. So we'll go into Easy Builder Pi folder. We'll run our Easy Builder plugin manager, and we'll pass it the parameter of the plugin that we downloaded. There. So now the plugin's installed. So now we can go back and download our app. Cool. I like testing. It's fun to break stuff. Then it gives people more work to do when I break things, and they're like, "Oh, we didn't think of that. DJ had to test it." Okay, so here is our auto position, and here's our Dynamexel. So if I click on the gear, I should be able to edit. Look at that! I can edit the Dynamexel configuration here. Sweet! It's got all my checkboxes from Windows, and I got my baud rate. And I got my test buttons. And I have an auto position here. Let's go into this. Look at that. There's my auto position. Here's my positions that I had created. And can I edit port mode? Look at that. I can edit the port. I can click on it. Popped up the window. Man, super cool. So this is EasyBuilder running on Linux on a Raspberry Pi. Very wild. Okay, so next thing, you're not going to be able to see this because it's behind this window. In fact, I can't even see it. Oh, darn. I know what we can do. Let's move some things around. There you go. So I'm going to click on this button here because we're going to connect to the EZB. There we are. I'll put this back. That's fun. Okay, so we're connected to the EZB's wireless network, and now I should be able to push connect. And there we go. We're connected to, according to this, we're connected to the Biloid. Let's take a look and see what kind of data we got back when we connected to it. I'm just going to add the debug window to this because we can see all the debug information that was sent to us here. So let's take a look. So it tells my screen resolution connected to the. It's probably hard for you guys to read. It's hard for me to read too. It's a small screen, but it says the firmware version is an EZB 4.2x, and it supports the following capabilities. So it looks like this is a regular EZB. It detected everything. That's pretty cool. It says here that it'll use the camera. It'll stream video. So we should be able to use the video streaming with EasyBuilder too. We'll try that out. Here's our battery voltage. It says the battery voltage is 11.02, so a little bit of loss going into the EZB, through the EZB into the servos, but that's cool. Remove this control? Yeah. Could I do this too? Can I click on Smart Arrange? Oh yeah, look at that. It's fast. Okay, so let's go into, let's put them into the standing or initialization position. So I'm just going to say transition into. And if you look in this little window on the right here, we should see him move into his position. Let's do it. Huh. Oh, nobody pointed that out. We forgot to plug the servos into the EZB. Come on, guys, we're in this together. Here we are here. So this is supposed to go into port D5 and D6. So D5 and D6. There we go. Okay, let's try it again. Let's push into initialization. Oh! That's how we fell off the table last time. Jeremy's gonna watch this video later and be like, man, DJ's gotta stop breaking robots. Cool. Okay, so let's put him into the stand position. We'll hit transition 2. Nice. And then we'll transition into here. This is all working on the Pi. That is awesome. Very, very cool. Okay, let's try it with the camera. We have a camera, so let's see what we can get with this. I guess we'll just stick it in his head somewhere. just just put some hot glue on his head and just glue it to the top of his head like this, like it's a hat. Make a little hat for him. Camera hat. It looks like we could put it inside his head. I just don't know how this is all held together. Yeah, whatever. We're just gonna try it out anyway, see if it works. So let's plug the camera into the back of the controller here. There, that's fine. And let's take a let's put tape. Yeah, I'd have to get up to get tape. I'm good. Maybe some gum if I had some gum. It'll be fine like that for now. Let's just first see if this if the camera even works. So we're gonna go project, add camera device. Cool. Okay, so here's our IP address. Here's our resolution. Click start. Look at that! Woohoo! Yeah, it's working. Okay, that's great. Look at that. It's a good frame rate too. Who's that good-looking guy? Hey. So let's put some tape on there. I don't know how much we're gonna play with this thing though. I think that we know it works. I think it's good enough. That's great. Let's try, let's see if he'll do some tracking. Let's try some multicolor tracking here. Let's see how slow it gets. Oh, look at the frame rate dropped right down. Oh, wow, that frame rate. You see that? So it's not super quick to do object recognition, but I mean, come on, this is a Raspberry Pi, right? We're only getting about 7 frames a second, it says here. That's still pretty good. Let's try editing multicolor. Look at that. Let's bring it to the color of my skin. Yeah, that works pretty good. Here's me. Hello. I am red. So let's try, yeah, look at that. It's tracking me. No problem. Huh. That's cool. I'm pretty impressed. There's a little Raspberry Pi. And you know what? You guys can't see this. Let me move this out of the window, out of the way here. So you can see, there you go. This is the percentage of CPU being used. Interesting, it's only using around 23, 26%. I wonder if there might be a way to tell the Raspberry Pi, tell the operating system it wants more CPU juices, but there's also in the command shell, there's something called top. This is like an old Unix command. In here, it's a program. Okay, here we go. You could see here that the calculation that we're seeing in the graphic interface, it said 20-something% of CPU usage, is incorrect. I think it's 27%, maybe across multiple cores. This might have multiple cores in it. I don't know if it says that up here someplace. I don't see where it says that, but this is definitely using a lot of CPU on one of the cores. So if we exit this and then go into CPU cd/proc, there is a file in here called CPU info, and Thanks, Perry. Yeah, it's looking really good, eh? So we could see how many. This CPU info will tell you how many cores there are inside of how many logical processors, not physical processors, are. So it says 1, 2. This is number 3. This is number 4. Yeah, so there's four cores on the B plus, and it's using 80-90% on one core, which makes sense that the graphic interface was telling us it's around 28-30% CPU usage of in total, right? So we're using a ton of CPU, you can see, on one core. Even though it is running multi-threaded, I guess mono must not run across multi-thread, cores. I don't know if that's what kind of restriction that is. It might be something I'll have to look into later and see if there's some sort of property you can pass into mono to get your application to run multi-core. So that would be why this is running at this speed. Hey Perry, Coors again. It's always banquet though, don't worry. Okay, so we got multi-core. Let's try face. I think face detection is going to work. Oh yeah, it slowed down again. We're getting around the same. 5 to 7. Yeah, it's detecting my face. Cool. It's Coors Banquet, guys. Coors Banquet's good. It's like the Nordstrom rack of Nordstrom's. It's just or Nordstrom rack of like maybe Walmart compared to a Nordstrom rack. It's like above the low end, but it's not quite the high end. What else we got to try here? Just color tracking in general. This should be pretty quick. Yeah, that sped it up to around 11 frames per second. But that's just general color tracking, not with multicolor. So we can do brightness. Get my face in there. There we go. Whoa! This is what I look like when I'm mad. Oh! I have a really good idea. Okay, let's see if this works. There is a plugin, a Kickstarter for my beer fund. You know what? I would welcome a Kickstarter for a beer fund. Okay, there is a really neat plugin in here that I want to try. It's called where is it? It's called Augmented Reality. Have you guys seen this plugin before? This is hilarious. Okay, let me download it. Let me download it and show this to you. Okay, so it's 6.4. Let me install it in the Pi. Okay, CD, Easy Builder Pi. Gotta go in that folder. We have the Mono Easy Builder plugin / downloads. And the file we just downloaded starts with a 6.4. I know that because I can see it right here. 6.4e. So I just type in 6.4 and I'll hit tab. It'll finish it for me. Hit enter. This is going to install this augmented reality plugin. Okay. Just Will, watch this. This is hilarious. Okay, so we turn this on, right? So it sees me. It also sees something up there. Well, there's a robot up there I wanted to hack. I haven't done it yet. Okay. So watch this. So let's go to add in the project. And here's augmented reality it's called. Augmented reality. So add that. And then here it is here. This is the plugin. And then we click attach. Does it not work for this? Hold on. Maybe it only works for faces. Let's see. No? It's not working. Oh no! That's too bad. Okay, let's try multicolor. Oh darn. Okay, so This is a feature that is not supported apparently in Raspberry Pi. Huh. So with this, I'll show you this plugin later. But what it does is it puts whatever image you have loaded on top of another image um, that's detected, but it's not working. Oh darn! That makes me sad. So not all plugins work, I guess. Don't make me mad and make fun of my beer. You know what, Will? Give it some time. I'm sure it'll start working. But Will, you joined late, and let me tell you something. There was a website I was showing everybody earlier called Pi64.win. If you check out this website, I just discovered this last week. Look at this. Full Windows 10 on a Raspberry Pi. Right? How awesome is that? So it's not fully complete yet. It looks like their status says that there's a couple features that aren't working. So I think next Friday, I think we should try it out. I think we should try putting Windows 10 on a Raspberry Pi. Because I mean, if we can get Windows 10 on a Raspberry Pi, like a $38 computer, it's amazing. It's gonna be like raining Windows 10s. It's gonna be awesome. Oh, what happened here? Disconnected. There we go. Yes way. I think we could do stuff with the image too here, right? We can do, it just says the word image. What does that mean? Image. Whoa, super bright. What's this one? Whoa, cool. Ooh, black and white. Old school. Look at that. Okay, I'm done playing around with this. Well, I guess I could just reset it. There we go. So there's a couple things that are a little goofy with the Pi. Specifically, this tracking this augmented reality plugin. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with the power of the Pi too. Like, it's a tiny little computer, man. Like, there's nothing to it. Here it is here. That's it. I mean, if you opened up your computer and your laptop, you wouldn't find very much more either. But given the price for $38, and if you compare that price to a Latte Panda, any limitations that a few plugins not working? Yeah, there's no speech recognition, so you can't even use Bing speech recognition. That stuff's not going to work. And that's a limitation of the fact that it's like an open source thing. There isn't a how do you say this? There isn't an infrastructure for Linux, for Raspberry Pi, right? For somebody to own an entire speech recognition system. There are third-party stuff, maybe some libraries or some online features that we could probably use. Now, Bing speech recognition is a JSON query to a cloud service, so we could probably make a very specific plugin just for the Pi that will do speech recognition. We can offload it to the cloud. But, I mean, I'm wary of how much effort to put into it, considering the the Windows version may be like available and fully functional in the next couple months, right? And I've heard something about the Raspberry Pi. Here, let me stop this and load up the browser again. There's also Latte Panda. Mark, you have a Latte Panda, don't you? Yeah. What's the performance like? Do you find it decent? Really? Eh? Do you get a higher frame rate than what we're getting with the Pi? Like, do you get like 15, 20 frames per second even when doing tracking and stuff? Cool. Okay, so it is more powerful than the Pi. Price is up there too, though. How much? Let's take a look at the. Let's look at it here. I think we looked at it before. Um, Latte Panda. I know I looked on on Amazon, and in Canadian pesos, it was like my firstborn child. So I don't think I'm going to be getting one off Amazon anytime soon. Buy a Latte Panda. Yeah, that's right. You got the 464. Wow, they are pricey, but you can get it without having to register. One of the things, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but if you don't pay for Windows, like if you just install Windows but don't register it, you can still use it. It just tells you in the bottom corner someplace, it says unlicensed or unregistered, which is fine. As far as I understand, you can still use it, but what they've done is they disabled a couple features. And those features are things like you can't change your wallpaper, you can't customize some colors. It's pretty generic stuff that you can't do, so it's not that bad. Okay, here we go. Latte Panda version 1. Okay, Marco, is yours a version 1 then? Huh, okay, so the price is pretty affordable. This must be the one you have here. The 464 you said? Okay. Um, that's a pretty good price. And it has a Arduino built right on it, so you don't even need an EZB. You can use audio through USB. You can use a camera through USB, and you can use the digital pins on the board with the Arduino for using servos. You got yours for 119? How'd you get that? Man, you guys in Amazon in the States, you're so lucky. We can order like toilet paper for about the same prices at the store in Canada. That's about that's about it for Amazon for us. Although I do buy everything from Amazon, like everything. I bought shoes today from Amazon and they fit. I was surprised. This is pretty pricey. Tiny Ultimate Windows Linux device. Oh, these are pre-order. This is Pro activated. This is a 464 Latte Panda enterprise license. Yeah, you don't need an enterprise license. Huh. Well, I tell you this. I know that one of the guys from our partner team, he's been looking into reaching out to DF Robot and getting a Latte Panda for us to sample, and we'll do one night. So we'll see. I think though next week we should do Windows 10 on the Raspberry Pi just to try it out. It'll be an early test, but it'll definitely be worth it. Okay, I don't think. Okay, you know what? We're going to test one more thing. Let's since we're inside of the Pi before we put it away. Let's close this plugin down since it doesn't work. I'm pretty disappointed about that plugin. I'll have to look into finding out why. 'Cause I know it works on Windows. Oh, we were playing with it just the other day. So let's make sure we're still connected here. Let's. Oh yeah, look at that. Stand up, robot. Sit down, robot. Okay, let's go in the auto positioner and let's see if this works. So it's in the stand position here. Let's click new frame and we'll call it stand 1. That sounds fine. All right, I'm gonna raise his arm up. Here we go. Nice. And raise his other arm up. Oh man, this is great. And then let's make another frame. Stand 2. Bend this one down. Raise this up higher. Oh yeah, let's try it. Okay, I'm gonna use get set. Let's do it. So I'm gonna hit release servos, and then okay, he just like slowly fell down. That's hilarious. Stand up, stay there. What do you do when he does this? Stay. Stop. Okay. He's just like. I feel like he's been drinking all my beer. Okay, we'll just do it like this. What do you, okay. So now we're gonna push. We're gonna move him into a position. And I'll push the button here, get and set all positions. It's such a weird button. I don't know if maybe I should rename that. Get and set. It's like get the positions and set them. I know what it's saying. It's just a weird button. So we'll do it. Okay. Did it do it? Yep, it did it. Look at that. Okay, so now we'll click new frame. And let's reverse this. And we'll push it again, get and set. There it worked, nice! And then, yeah, that's fine, that's good enough. So it's going to be kind of a weird thing because it get and set the positions of his legs as well. So let's create a dance. We'll call this the sloppy. Oops. Which keyboard am I using? This keyboard. The sloppy dance. Because he's drunk with a J, all slopped down on the desk like this. Let's add. Was it stand? Stand 1, stand 2, stand 3. It's going to be kind of funny what he's going to do though. And then let's go back to stand 2, stand, oops, get rid of this one. I can't believe this is all working on the Pi so smooth like this. This is fantastic. And this action repeats. Click save. All right, here we go. Here's our sloppy dance. Click execute. Whoa, he's moving so quick. Stop it. Stop your movements. Okay, let's slow that down a bit. Sloppy dance. This one here. So let's make his steps 1. That'll slow him down quite a bit. The font rendering is a little weird. I mean, I can obviously tell what I'm doing, but if I don't know if you can tell on your screen, everything's a little bit compressed. It's still legible. It's just a really strange font that they're using, the way it's like super compressed here. All right, here we go. It does look like an old font, but hey, we already made enough fun of Linux. Now it's time for us to talk about the good things because it's running awesome. We slowed it down a little too much. We could have probably speeded it up a little bit. there's our dance. Very cool. Huh. I gotta say, I'm really impressed with the Raspberry Pi. This is the most I've used it. So I loaded it up last week when we did that that one photo just to try it out. This is the first time I've got to see it. Let's save it to my drive here. We'll call this Bioloid. Click save. And we'll disconnect from the EZB. Click new. You know, that's actually something we can try. We haven't tried any audio. So let's try that. Let's open up the project and see if it's there. Oh, my project's not there, the thing we just created. Where is it? Where did it go? My projects. What the heck? Okay, so good to know, guys. There might be an inability to save projects. Let's check the user log and see if we got an error message when we were trying to save it and we never noticed. Add general debug. No, Will, it'll just keep you busy. You just have to make projects more often. Alright, let's see what... let's see if we got an error here. Okay, it says it saved it. It says saved home Pi easy builder my projects Bioloid. All right, let's see if that's actually true. So open. Actually, let's look in the command shell here. So I'm in the Pi folder right now, which is a home Pi. So home Pi easy builder. Why aren't you letting me easy builder? My projects. Oh, there it is, Bioloid. Okay, so if we hit open, home, Pi, easy builder, my projects, and it's blank. There's nothing in here. Interesting. All right, so apparently you can save, but you can't load. So that's cool. That's a cool feature. It's very secure. I'm curious, what if I load it from the command prompt? Can I do that? So let's go into our easy builder Pi and let's run mono easy builder.exe, and then we'll pass in a parameter which is home Pi easy builder. What was it? My projects, and then Bioloid. Let's see if that works. I mean, obviously, I'm not thinking this is a solution I suggest for everybody. it's just maybe it might work for us so we can recover. Yeah, look at that. Okay, cool. That's good to know. Also, I'm not quite sure, but I think when you load the project, doesn't it like prompt you for the last files that you had open? Isn't that a thing? So if I just run Easy Builder on its own here, I don't know. Maybe it's not a thing for the Raspberry Pi version of the software. Nope, it's not a thing. Okay. So I have to run it like this. So we'll look into why file open doesn't work. At least save works. That would be scary if somebody used this and saved and it didn't do that. Okay, we were going to test audio. So I don't have any music on here. Where can I get some music from? Oh, I know where I can get some music from. Let's click to the internet. And let's just type in, give me a free MP3. Sometimes I like using Google the way my mom would. She would talk to it like a person. Oh, look at this, free MP3 juices. I know SayEasyB will not work. I'm confident SayEasyB will not work because there's no speech synthesis. So let's add a script to C. Scripting. Actually, if we go under audio, we should see speech synthesis. If I click on this, yeah, it says it's not supported. And if I go into scripting and I actually make a script, Nomad, where did my script go? Oh, it's probably behind this window way up here. Hold on. There it is. Let's move it over here. Come here. There we go. Put this back. Edit script. So we'll type in SayEasyB hello world, and I'll click run. Okay, it says it ran. Didn't give me an error, but it didn't say anything either. I'm not connected. It's not going to. I'm very certain it's not going to. Yeah, I just think the command's like a stub that's in there. But let's go back to our MP3 juices. What is this? A popular and free search engine. Just type in your query. All right, MP3. There. What is this? The best MP3 player. Download. YouTube. Hindi romantic songs. That's exactly what I was looking for. Download. Yeah, I wanted a Hindi romantic song. It's downloading. 64 megs? What? That's a lot of megs for Hindi romantic music. Wow. That's too many megs. I don't want to load that into my robot. I mean, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do a stress test. Why not? The 64 megabyte Hindi romantic music. And you guys think that you don't have a life. Come on, Friday night, we're going to listen to some Hindi romantic music at 192 gazillion kilobits per second. 64 megabytes. You're going to hear all that Hindiness really good. That's no MP3. That's a serious MP3. It is an MP3. Look, Will. Downloads. That is an MP3. Look at this. Oh, Linux doesn't need to show you the actual file name. Well, sort of. Hold on. Maybe I can change the view. No? How about this? Look at this. Just like Windows almost. This is fantastic. That's cool. Lets me move this around. Look at that. See? It's an MP3 file, 64 megs. Oh man. We are going to rock this Friday night. Here we go. Soundboard. You're a 34-minute song. This is going to be the best 34-minute song you've ever heard. You ready? Easy Builder Pi. Downloads. There it is. It's loading. It's doing something. It gave me this 0 here. Is it doing something? What's going on here? Top. It's using no percentage of CPU. Okay. Okay, everybody. I don't think it can load MP3 files. So that's a thing that it cannot. Oh, look, it gives the error messages. That's cool. I wonder if it's because of the MP3 encoder and decoder. I bet you it's not supported. So there's a feature that's not supported. Oh, okay. I have an idea though. I get excited for ideas. Okay. This project that we're using, it's fine. Let's pretend we created a project on Windows. So let's let's go to our desktop on Windows. Kaboom. All right, now oh wait, I have an idea. Let's go back to our capture and let's save this project to the cloud. So it's called Bioloid, blah, 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 yes. And I'll just type in a description here. Transferring to Windows to try the soundboard. Yes. Okay, so now we can go to our Windows computer. And open it up here. There we go. Nice. And here's our sloppy dance. Right on. Very cool. Okay, now let's project add audio. It's nice being in Windows though. It feels way different. AudioBoy, it does not support all the plugins. That's what we're playing with now. Okay, so we're gonna go, let's go to the WinSCP, it's a program it's called. This allows me to transfer data between the Raspberry Pi. Oop, I don't know what the IP address of the Raspberry Pi is. Let's go back and get that. Hello Pi, tell me your IP address please. My IP, oops, ifconfig. My IP address is 192.168.0.154. All right. Edit. 192.168.0.154. Save. Log in. Yes. Cool, cool, cool. We saved that Hindu file to my downloads. There we go. My top romantic Hindu. I'll just put it on my desktop here. Boom. Nice. Transferred. So now we'll load this in desktop, top Hindi music. Loading, loading, loading. While it loads, I need to load another beer. Be right back. Here, you guys get to see this. Boom. Okay, my beer has been refreshed. I should move it away from that robot though before he spills it. Okay, so we loaded in the Pi CPU. It's a 4-core CPU, AudioBoy, and we were using 100% with the camera doing video tracking on one of the cores. So that was using about 25% of the total CPU usage. Okay, so here's our audio file. Let's save this back to the cloud again. This time it's 48 megs. Oh my god, it's too many megs. I don't want to save that many megabits. Let's edit this file. Holy jeez, that's why. It's look how long this file is. It's way too long. It's so much like love music, Hindu love music. We only need like a minute of it. So let's right click in here, right here, and we'll just say delete everything after this. There we go. So now we just have a minute worth of music. That's good enough to test with. Okay, now let's try saving to the cloud. There, that's better. Save. Transferring back to the Pi for testing romantic Hindu music to spend on a Friday night with the gang. Don't let anyone tell you that you guys don't have a social life, because we're going to listen to Hindu music, romantic Hindu music together out of a robot on a Friday night. How cool is that? We'll do it together. Okay. So we should be able to load that project on the Pi now. Marco, this is our Valentine's Day together. Our robot Valentine's Day with our Hindu music. Okay, here it is. So here's our soundboard. Interesting, what it didn't do in Windows, look at the title here. It seemed to have wrapped the text, which we can resize. So that's nice. That's actually quite convenient. And if you look on Windows, it didn't do that. It just made the, whoops, hold on, what's going on here? There we go. It just made the text one long line, even though we still can resize it, which is not very useful. So it's convenient that on the Pi, it did that for us. That's nice. Okay, can we edit? Let's try that. Whoa, look at this. We even can edit. We have volume, we have everything. Okay guys, this is the big test. Let me turn my music off. Alright, I'm going to connect to the Bioloid. And I'm going to push the play button. Is everybody ready for some romantic time with me on a Friday night? First, let's get the robot to go into our position. Okay, it is. And let's press play on the audio. Oh yeah, listen to those sweet Hindi tunes. Raspberry Pi. Let's try our sloppy dance. Oh yeah. How's this for a first date, guys? Let's turn his camera on too. Come on, camera. Oh, that's all we get for music. We have to press play again. No! Put your head back on. I need my hot glue to dry. I'm getting glue strings everywhere. Doesn't want to stay on. We have to get the hot air gun. Hold on, cold air. Here we go. We'll do this. Nope. I took it off too many times. Okay, let's try it again. Come on, hot glue. There, that's better. Okay, but our music is turning off. So a nail and a hammer. Nomad, you would do that too, wouldn't you? If I had some pink spray paint, we could paint them too. Okay, let's do something that you guys probably don't know you can do. If you do, then kudos to you. Let's try this. Here's what I'm gonna do. I want my music to play in a loop forever. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go project, add scripting. And then in my script, oh gosh, I don't even have I have no manual for text. Oh my gosh. Do I have variables? I do. Nice. Okay. So we could do something called a loop here. Oops. Wrong keyboard. Loop. Go to loop. This is really tiny. I doubt you guys can even read what I have on the screen here. But I wrote loop, go to loop. Then I'm going to write wait for, and then I'm going to wait for the variable, and the variable is going to be called EZB plain audio. Wait for that to equal false or 0, however you can say 0 or false. And then when it's done playing it, then I'm going to play the audio again. So it doesn't seem like I can right click in this window, and I don't get a pop-up for all of my stuff, so I have to use the cheat sheet. So in the cheat sheet, I should be able to get the soundboard. There it is. And I can click my sound. So what'll happen is it'll loop forever, and every time it's not playing, when it's not playing, it'll continue on and start playing. Right? So I'll click start. And there goes our music. And let's turn our camera on. Oh yeah. And let's start our sloppy dance. Oh, and she's doing a lot of tracking too. Look at that. All on the Raspberry Pi. This is great. This little Pi is working. Cool. Okay. So I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to turn off tracking. So let's see if something else works. Let's go into our gear here. Uh-oh. It says I can't do something. UC checkboxes. Okay, it looks like the camera control. I can't load the configuration screen for it. So that doesn't work yet. I don't know. We'll have to look into find out what this is. That's too bad. But good news is we have a camera dancing Bioloid with the camera working with Raspberry Pi. That's pretty cool. Oh, we broke the camera there. Oh yeah, there we go. Cool. So now when this song is done, this script should keep it going. See there, it started playing again. And if I hit stop, it'll play again. So every time I hit stop, it's going to play it again because of the script. So I don't know if you guys, oh, that's interesting. Here's another bug. If I have a script and I click to edit it, it's empty. There's nothing in here. Okay, so we're Raspberry Pi. It's cool, but it looks like it's definitely in beta mode. It's going to take some time for us to go through some of these things. How about RoboScratch? Is that working? Let's find out. So let's add. Oh, interesting. The camera's not working in here. Look at that. I don't see the camera image. It's here, but it is not here. Interesting. Okay. So let's see if this works. Let's go wait for a face. We'll add that here. And then when it sees the face, then we're going to have the robot run our action. Sloppy dance. We'll run it for 10 seconds. And we're also going to play the audio file. Sound. But we'll put this above it like that. it's going to play our sound file. It's going to run the sloppy downs for 10 seconds when it sees my face. Let's see if that works. Start. All right, here we go. Huh. Oh, it did it. It worked. So RoboScratch works. It looks like the scripts that it's generating are working. So the camera controls, these tracking features are working. The script is running. You just can't seem to edit a script once you created it, and you can't access the menu for the camera control. You can click on here, and we can see the sound file. And will it play? Oh yeah, look at that. You can see it playing. And can I close this while it's playing? Yep, and I can go back into it and still see it playing. Oh, this is great. And then we can we delete stuff in here? Delete everything after this. Nice. And then can I copy? So can I right click here and say set selection start, set selection end, and then I can say copy selection. Oh, I can do this. Look at this. And then can I paste selection? Paste. Oh yeah. Oh, this is fantastic. Oops. Oh, this is wonderful. Okay, let's try it. Nice. We can run our repeat script here. Okay, I'm impressed with the Raspberry Pi. So much that I just shrunk my chair. There we go. Oh, this is great. Cool. Okay, I've had enough of my Hindu music. Is there anything else you guys want to see on the Raspberry Pi before I shut her down? Because I think that's I think we have an idea of what's working and what doesn't. We could try it on with an Arduino, but I'm hesitant on how to do that because I don't know what port it's going to be at. So I'm not going to worry about that. Let's see. Things like the View 6 headset, yeah, that's not going to work. Cognitive face. Oh, wow. Hold on. Look at this. Cognitive face. So, will that work? Let's find out. Detect. There it is. It thinks I'm 49, but hey, whatever. Okay, that's awesome. So that plugin is working. And what else? What about vision? Vision. This one here. Cognitive vision. There it is there. So what is it going to describe in this image? Like the back of a robot and a bunch of shelves? It's going to be weird. Let's see what it says. A close-up of an office. Wow, impressive. How about me? Let's see me. Oops. A man smiling for the camera. Barely smiling. And a person in a room. Wow, it sees the robot and thinks it's a person. That's great. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed too, Will. Like, I wasn't expecting that to work. So the Microsoft Cognitive Services is working. Let's see, what else do we have in here? Pandora Bot. Oh, I have a good one we can try. It's Twitter probably works as well. The Wii controller, I bet you that one will not work. Yeah, that one says no. How about making a mobile interface? Can I build a mobile interface? Camera, yep. Just doesn't, the camera is not live fed. Like in Windows, if we added the camera, you would see the window, the camera window. You don't see that with this. And how about a joystick pad? Can we change the button? Can we change the image here? Like, whoa. It only supports certain images though, because I thought I had more files in here, like a dancing hamster, but I guess not. Let's click save. Okay, there we go. So that loaded. Oh, my project just crashed. Boom. The Pi. It says I got a Sigabert. So it's got a Sigabert. See you in a bit, Will. While executing native code. A Sigabert. This usually indicates a fatal error in Mono runtime or one of the native libraries used by your application. Don't blame me. This runs fine on Windows. Let's see, does it give me any error messages up here that we can understand? It has a futex with the sysdips, and it has a semwait. I hope somebody in the Linux world understands this. Previous frame identical to this frame. Correct stats. Interesting. I wonder what that means. Well, the error was inside of the ARM Linux, the GNU Ahifadibusha in libcaro. So, too. But it's alright because we got a Sigabert. I didn't save that project. Which means if we're going to test one more thing on Raspberry Pi, the thing I'm going to test requires a visit to the website because I have to install another plugin. And this is going to be a really interesting plugin to try. Let's go to software, menu, manual, sorry, menu. Where are we here? Boom, 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 boom. Scripting, scripting, scripting. And we're going to install JavaScript. This is going to be crazy. Can it do this? Okay, so to install this plugin, this starts with 8B. So I want to go, what was it? Mono, easy, builder, plugin, / downloads, 8B tab. And it's going to run it, install it, and then back to Easy Builder. Ooh, Easy Builder got really small. Look at this. That's weird. What if we resize it? Nope. It's like, you're going to stay small. You're not allowed to be any other size. How about this? Maximize. Oh. Okay. Yes. You know, I'm not disappointed with the way this is running because all things considered, I mean, we're running this on like a free operating system that didn't cost anything, right? with a bunch of people's free effort to make something like this happen. This is pretty spectacular. Okay, so I'm going to test out JavaScript. So we're going to project, add. Oh, I have a feeling this is not going to work because the editor that JavaScript uses is not going to load in here. Plugins, here it is, JavaScript. So if I click the edit button, I have a feeling I'm going to get an error message. I did. I got an error message. Yes. Okay. So that's because it uses a very specific editor. All right. What other plugins do I think? Oh, here's one. Let's click Project, Add Camera. And let's connect to the camera on the robot. There we go. And let's also add a some sort of movement panel. We'll just add like a servo movement panel just for fun. Right here. Okay, so we got these buttons. Now let's test out under General the HTTP server. Let's see if that works. So the custom server I think is a good one. I like the custom server because, oh, it won't work. It says, no, you have a GDI overflow. Your index is out of range. Okay, so it really doesn't want to add it. But let's see here. Here it is. It added it, but it has a bunch of error messages. So maybe it doesn't work like it said. Yeah, nothing, everything seemed to have stopped responding. Okay, so the web server doesn't work. How about not the custom web server? How about the regular web server? So project, add. HTTP server. So this is the regular one here. Oh, it gives me an error message too. Blah, 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 blah. Something about drawing characters to the screen. And then it has this window still open. Interesting. The cursor changes when I get over here to some sort of like different style cursor. Interesting. Okay. Crazy. So I think we're getting into some of the limitations for sure on the Pi version. It feels like it's a rabbit hole we're going down with all these little. I mean, they're not showstoppers by any means. You can, as we demonstrated, you can still make the robot dance. You can use the camera. You can use audio. It looks as if you can use projects that are pretty basic until you start getting into very specific stuff like web servers and things. But I don't think that's a problem. Yeah, I think you could get around. You can get around most of these issues here. Video player, that probably doesn't work. Yeah. Floor mapping, Wii controllers, plugins, scripting. I don't know if there's anything in here that wouldn't work. The script flow, that doesn't work. Variable watcher, we know that worked because we saw it in the editor. Let's see, servo. Yeah, most of these things here look, they don't jump out like they should be an issue. Oh, look at this, the Sphero. I wonder if that would work. Let's add it. Oh, wow. Holy jeez, look at that. So you can connect the Sphero to the Raspberry Pi and it would work. Look at that. Is that ever fantastic? How about, let's look what else there is in that section. A Roomba. I guarantee you the Roomba is going to work. There's no reason why it shouldn't. Because it's using the serial protocol, which is the same as the Dynamixel. The AR drone, I have a sneaky suspicion it will not work. Let's try it. Ooh. Cool. Okay. What else? Touch. And then ultrasonic. Wow, that's great. So there's a lot more working than I thought. Is that ever fantastic? All right. Boom. Cannot activate something. Huh. Well, that's pretty wild. That was a lot of fun. Huh. Well, Raspberry Pi and your Hindi music. I'm deleting this song. I hope if anybody wants it, you'll have to replay this video and see where to download it. To relive this most beautiful night together. Ah, my dancing hamster. Yeah. Why doesn't he dance like that? I need to dance. There we go. Dance better. Dance better. I need some music on, by the way. It's quiet in here. Browsing the web on this thing, it's a little slow, but it's not terrible. Look at this guy asking for custom firmware V2. This is old. This is on the old one. What does this guy want? Hello, when is this firmware for EasyB V4 be available? Why? I'll respond. This firmware is for the old discontinued EasyB v4.x/1. The new EasyB v4.x/2 has its own firmware updater, which you most likely have the latest. Nice. There we go. Clickety click. Answer McGee. Cool. Okay, guys. I think that is good for me for today. I know I talked about perhaps looking into the NeoPixel, but I don't think I have it in me to start coding. It's been a long day already. It's 9 o'clock. We've been doing this for 2 hours. That's a big yawn of relief for a Friday end of day. Let's take a look at the Pi, though. So that was it. That's what we played with today. Raspberry Pi B+. It's pretty wild, I have to say. I'm impressed. Next week, what we'll do is go through the Raspberry Pi. Here, let's put it up on the screen. There we go. We're gonna do pi64.win. So I'm gonna set this up for next week. I heard from, I didn't hear, I read, I heard with my eyes that it takes a long time to install, especially on a micro USB. Like, apparently it takes like hours and hours to install a micro USB. So I might pick up a external hard drive from Amazon, like an external SSD or something, or we might even have one here, and then maybe I'll do it that way. Because let's see here, what are they asking me to have to do? Install it. Download USB drivers. Will, you missed everything. We broke the Raspberry Pi. It blew up in flames. We had to get a fire extinguisher and put it out. I'm looking at the Pi 64 right now to see what we have to do for next week. So it looks like we have USB drivers. Okay. And then you have an installer. Follow this link for the installer. Okay, there it is there. And yeah, I'm excited for it too. I hope it works as well as I would imagine it to, but again, I don't want to get anyone's hopes up too much yet because it looks like this is still early and it's still in its infancy. It does work with a B or P+, so I'm going to use it on the B+ that we used today. I need a version of Windows 10. .NET Framework should come included. That is really good news. Because Easy Builder requires .NET Framework. You need this. Okay. And then using it. Just want to see how long it's going to take to do the install, because I read with my eyeballs. I heard with my eyeballs that it'll take a while. So requirements, acknowledgements. Thank you, all you people. I don't see the instructions though. It's a tool that can install, but it doesn't tell me what to do with it. Copy, archive, acknowledge. This guy made a USB driver. This guy made a video on how to do it. Huh, that's cool. Nice intro. I like this guy already. Let's see here. Does he got a write-up? Commands, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, because I read someplace that it's this writing to the SD card that takes a really long time. And I think that tool that we were just looking at does all the things that he's doing right now. It might be this part here, this DISM, deploying the image. I think this takes a super long time. I'm talking like hours apparently. So maybe what I'll do is get a SSD to try it first, so that we don't. Maybe it'll be much quicker than a micro SD. Wow, this is unbelievable. There we go. Look at this guy's running on a And this is in May. What? Wait, hold on. Go back. What's going on? Where is my... Go back. Look. May. 2018. That's almost a year ago. You're telling me that this has been out for almost a year? No one noticed? This snuck under the radar? Unbelievable. This is great. Getting started with Raspberry Pi. Wow. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll play with it a little bit next week for a short period of time. And yeah, Will, it's been out for a super long time. So I'll play with it, get an idea of what is going to be necessary so I don't waste everyone's time. They should have worked out the bugs, but I bet you it's a lot of effort. I don't know this. I don't know the history behind it. It might take some effort to read and understand what it is. Like, is Microsoft directly supporting the Pi in Windows, or are they expecting, or is this like a complete hack and people have to do it themselves? I think that's the question. And if I was Microsoft and it had the capability to run on the Pi, like, I honestly don't know why they would not jump in both feet. I mean, that gives Windows access to run on a ton of people's devices, not just laptops. Like, who buys laptops anymore? Right? Like, my stepdad has a laptop from, I'm not even exaggerating, I think it's from like 2005. And he still uses it and he doesn't care. People don't buy laptops, but they have a brand new tablet. They have brand new iPads. But, I mean, when it comes down to the laptop, like, not many people need a laptop. I mean, all you do to surf the internet these days is just put your finger on the screen and move it around. You're just like, I'm surfing the internet. That's all my mom does. She just goes like this and types messages to me. I miss you. When are you coming to visit? I'll make you some pierogies. Huh. Good night, Marco. U-Boot. I'm reading this list. This is interesting. The comparison between different firmwares. I am super, super, super curious about this. Collaborate. I wish I had time to collaborate with you, if you have skills. Oh, I got skills. I don't have time to give you my skills. But boy, would it ever be useful. Windows on a Pi. Anybody who uses Raspberry Pi and is like a Linux junkie because they love typing command lines all day and spending 30 hours to install something is probably listening to me like, why does this guy want Windows on a Pi? I don't expect you to understand, Linux users, so don't worry about it. Just let us be happy. Let us be us. Can't we all get along? Oh look, the Raspberry Pi has a BIOS of some sort. Wow, I'm gonna lose sleep over this. I'm seriously I'm gonna like spend the next couple days just obsessed with learning more about. Look, there's a forum here. I'm sure it's with a bunch of people very excited about it. views. Oh, these are not as many views as I thought there would be. Well, there's a lot of. Please don't. Oh, these are topics. I thought these were going to be categories here. I was going to say that's a lot of categories. I'm surprised the view count's so low considering how exciting this is going to be. Hey Will, have you noticed how many views your robot? You and let's see here, Dave Snuffleupagus. You guys are like head to head on robot views, eh? You're at 93,000 and Dave's at 79,000. And then Starnes on his Rad 2. I don't even know if he never finished this, I don't think. And then Cochrane at 44,000. That's pretty good. 93,000 views. Yeah, crazy, eh? 940 comments. 779. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. That's really, really great. And it should also be noted that we haven't been counting views for very long. These views came from the old website, so I'm guessing it's been about a year, maybe a little over a year we've been counting views. So that's 100,000 views in about a year. I don't think Snuffleupagus knows how many he's got. Look at this. That's crazy. We'll have to be sure to remind him, tell him. Toymaker's got quite a few on his Altair as well. 26,000. I'm certain, if we go to all, that your thread, most viewed, is still the highest. Yeah, and then check this out. This is Rich's TIP 120 switching circuit. 56,000 views. So it goes in order of you, Snuffleupagus, Josh's robot that he never finished, and transistors and motor controllers. And then Dave Cochrane, who kind of disappeared, but he still gets a number of views as well. Man, this is crazy. Oh, this is for sale. Oh, this is just a thread. This is a conversation about it being for sale. Yeah, do you ever come across David? I feel like reaching out and finding out what he's up to, but I mean, I'm sure he's got his reasons. I mean, I definitely don't think he's using ROS or something. When did you email him? Just now or recently? Oh, a new job. He travels a lot. Well, that's good. Good for him. That's really good for him. I liked him. Him and his son came up and visited us. I think 2 times actually, for some reason. Or maybe it was just once, but he was a pretty cool family. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna shut her down. I'm starting to fade. I can't even finish my second beer. I'm a disappointment to all Canadians. I'm going to be like this guy soon. Stand up. What's wrong with you? You can stand up. I don't have Jeremy here to keep me awake. It's 9:30. It's past my bedtime. I have to rescue my Easy Bee. I need it back. Yeah, it was good chatting. Okay, man. I will. I'll see you online. Yeah, you have a good weekend as well. All right, everyone. Take care. Oh. I'm gonna go sleep for 12 hours. We have like a foot of snow outside right now, so I have no excuse to need to get out of bed tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. I've been looking forward to it all week. All right, see everybody.